I know I'm probably a little late on this whole thing, but holy shit, Helldivers 2 just came out basically out of nowhere, and it's pretty much taken up all of my existing free time. It's been said a million times, but this shit is definitely Game of the Year contender right off the bat. The way this game has pretty much come out of thin air and has engulfed everyone into fighting together, spreading managed democracy throughout the known galaxy, is just so beautiful. I know it's been a little while since I've had much to say on this channel, but this beautiful fucking game just has so much about it that needs to be talked about. So just what exactly makes Helldivers 2 so special that makes me have a slight amount of hope for the future of the gaming industry? Can you remember the last time a game came out and it was just fun from the very moment you pressed the start button? For most blockbuster AAA, or whatever the fuck a quadruple A game is, the moment you load up the game for the first time, you're met with a ton of disclosures, seizure warnings, and developer affirmative action checklists. Then you proceed to spending a grand amount of time doing pointless tutorials and looking up optimal walkthroughs on how to navigate the increasingly complicated and stupid-ass menus the modern games have. From the moment you first boot up Helldivers 2, you're greeted with a based cutscene giving you a rough idea of kind of what the journey is you're about to embark on. Besides a short tutorial on how to move and how to try not to die, and quick character creation, there's like 4 different options for most things to choose from. This shit will just throw you right aboard your ship. This game doesn't really hold your hand too much besides from the absolute bare necessities. Once you're on your ship, literally the rest of the game is up to your own dumbass. You wanna go fight Facebook AI robots? Go for it. Do you have an itch to eradicate the native species of bugs on every non-Earth planet? Well, I sure hope you bring your friends. You can pretty much do whatever you want either by yourself or with your friends. However, I would highly suggest you don't do it by yourself. Like I said before, this game is just fun in all sense of the word. I can't recall the last time I had this much fun playing a brand new video game release. Everything about Helldivers 2 just feels so crisp and polished out the gate. Yes, I mean there's the occasional glitch where your mech decides that you've had enough fun and decides to blow you up from the inside, or where, you know, your enemies will just spawn right in front of you, making you question why God has abandoned us all. But overall, everything about this game feels perfect, from the movement, the gunplay, sound design. Everything feels handcrafted with love to give one of the most tightest and cinematic gameplay experiences of the last decade. Every weapon in the game packs a certain punch, and for the most part really feel like a viable option on eradicating democratically challenged individuals that you will choose to encounter throughout your time spreading freedom throughout the galaxy. I know it's a minor thing, but I just want to point out how fucking moist these weapons sound. They just sound so good. Weapons handling also feels amazing in this game. Every shot you land gives a shot of much needed dopamine, and when you land that final hit on a huge ass bug and watch it fall to its demise, you just can't get any better than that. One of the coolest aspects of the game is how unlocking weapons changes your playstyle. I saw something on the Helldivers subreddit that put it better than I ever could. The weapons unlock in a horizontal progression system, compared to a vertical one like most games. I would say for the most part there really isn't a specific gun or loadout which is considered to be the best for all scenarios. As you progress and unlock new guns and equipment throughout the war bonds, you'll be essentially getting different tools for different situations, rather than just better stats on the same gun that you already have. Each mission you dive into lets you choose your loadout before the drop, rather than you just having a set loadout for everything. You're definitely going to want to pay attention to what you're doing before you jump in, because you can't change this shit mid-mission. You bring the wrong equipment? Well, sucks to be you. You'll also have to pay attention to the types of missions and enemies you'll be dropping into, because there are certain things that are pretty much useless when picked wrong. Did you bring a flamethrower to fight the automatons? Well, that's alright, everyone has to repeat the 3rd grade, right? This leads me to the next thing in the loadouts that are crucial to your success: stratagems. Stratagems are a core part of the Helldivers 2 loadout system. They are basically like little bonuses that you can bring in for missions for you and that will drop out of the sky. You can have such things as turrets, mechs, heavy weapons like the before mentioned flamethrower, heavy machine gun, rocket launcher, laser cannons, as well as probably one of the more fun ones to use, airstrikes. From napalm, strafing runs, even a mini nuke you can call down. All these airstrikes are useful in battles when being overwhelmed, and also a hell of a lot of fun to use on your friends. Some of the most satisfying moments I've had from the game come from the stratagems. Headshotting chargers with rocket launchers, throwing an orbital laser into an enemy nest and just watching it level every moving thing it detects, to sometimes the unintentional, sometimes intentional airstrike on members of my own team.
Oh yeah, I said funny, I said it almost killed me.
Oh!
What?
You shot the hell bomb!
You hit the hell bomb too?
So, one of the coolest things about Helldivers 2 is its friendly fire, and in case you were wondering if it has it turned on, yes, Yes, it does. Half of my enjoyment from this game is completing the missions, spreading managed democracy throughout the galaxy, and the other half is just abusing anyone lucky enough to play with me. Frankly, I'm not even safe with playing with me, since everything in this game damages everything else. If I put a turret down and I stand right in front of it, and then an enemy bug shows up, my turret will not hesitate to shoot right through me like a true patriot. Both intentional and unintentional friendly fire kills are probably the biggest sources of joy in the dozens of hours I've played this game so far. It's even got to the point where the CEO of Arrowhead Studios came out with the most base take there is out there, saying that friendly fire is absolutely necessary and refuses to take it out of the game because of just how much fun it is. Now, when it comes to most AAA video game releases nowadays, we are all aware of the level of bugs, glitches, server issues, and all of that are just so prevalent. However, the level of polish that Helldivers 2 has had from day one honestly blew me away. I wouldn't say it's perfect, there have been a couple minor bugs and stuff here and there, but it's A, nowhere near as bad as most games are that I can think of off the top of my head, and B, they are pretty funny glitches most of the time, so it's kind of alright. I think the biggest issue upon the launch of this game came from within the opening weeks where the servers just didn't even have enough power to let players into the game. This is the definition of suffering from success. Arrowhead had absolutely no idea how successful their game was going to be, but it got to the point where there were just too many people logging into the game to even be let in to play. Everything about this game is as crisp as that drink of ice cold water at 3 in the morning. The level of polish in terms of the game mechanics and how everything works just feels so clean, and the effort and care from the developers is on full display. From the sound design to the physics, everything else just feels just so handcrafted with love. The fact that on paper this is a relatively repetitive gameplay loop with only a limited amount of mission types to play, it goes without saying that the developers did such a great job at having the gameplay loop be so fun to the point where I can play for hours on end doing relatively the same things and having an amazing time. I don't think it's a secret how popular this game is, and frankly I think it's well deserved. And I also think that this is one of those instances where the word of mouth and the community around the game online drove a fair amount of player traffic towards picking up the game. So just as an example, I was coming home from a baseball game about a week or so ago. Let's go Mariners, it's gonna be our year, I swear. And I was riding the train back home with a buddy I went to the game with. I was telling him about most of my time playing video games for the last month has pretty much just been dedicated to Helldivers 2. And this random guy standing next to us joined in, and we had like a 10-minute conversation about the game. But the amount of community-driven content online surrounding the game has also been pretty amazing. My Instagram Reels algorithm has been forever fucked beyond repair, and now it's nothing but Helldivers 2 memes, and the Helldivers 2 subreddit is just about as alive and thriving as the game itself. I think that just the aura around this game, the way it presents its humor and gameplay and everything is just so perfect and leads to a pretty fun community online. Before Helldivers 2 came out, I was pretty skeptical about picking it up, basically just due to how bad the live service game model has become, but goddamn did they do it right. Quick and frequent bug fixes and balance patches, as well as battle passes released every single month. And with these battle passes, you unlock the contents with the currency earned in the game, and they never expire. Now I know Halo Infinite had this never expiring battle pass thing, and I'm glad that Helldivers 2 followed suit and decided to go with that model. But one of the coolest things about this live service model is that while you can purchase the in-game currency for premium content with real money, you don't have to. You can actually earn it by playing the game as well. This is how you make a fucking live service game. I can't believe it's taken this long to get a good one. Holy shit. Honestly, I could just talk about this game for hours, which is probably why I have so much fun jumping on Discord with a group of friends every night and spreading managed democracy throughout the known galaxy. But I'd love to know what you think. Game of the Year material? For me, 100%. Unless something else comes out of left field and blows me away, I don't think it gets any better than this. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Have you played it yet? Leave a like, subscribe if you wanna, but I guess that'll be it for today. Until next time, I'm out.